up to the key. Mini lesson 10, 207, complaint reporting part 3. Today we're going to cover 207-23, missings. You're going to get at least 2, maybe 3, sometimes 1 questions on any test. Sergeant, lieutenant, even captain's test. They love testing missings, and here's why. There's 2 separate definitions. When do we record a complaint of a missing person? And then a separate but similar definition of when do we search for a missing person. I'll get into the details in just a second. There's 5 questions in today's lesson, followed by a 4-page lesson plan. Missings is kind of complicated the way it's written in the book. It's not complicated in my lesson, all right? It's a 4-page lesson. You go over those details, you're going to nail it. This is where the problems are and why they love testing it. There could be 2 different desk officers. Desk officer precinct of occurrence, desk officer precinct of residence. Missing persons, they get a 61 number, right? And the 61 number comes from the precinct of residence. A lot of the work is done, however, by the precinct of occurrence. Now, naturally, in life, they're one and the same very often. But on a day of the test, they're going to be different. Think about what that means to you taking a test. Which of the following is not the properly stated duty of the desk officer, or is the properly stated duty of the desk officer? 3 of them will be properly stated duties for the other desk officer. So you got to look in the question, and very often when they do this, they won't say. They'll tell you, Sergeant Monaghan is on a desk in the 103, Sergeant Lopez is on a desk in wherever else, and then in the end they're going to say, which is a properly stated duty for Sergeant Lopez. And now you got to go back and say, well, which one is he? That's the first. You write it down on the test if you have to. So be wary of the fact that there's 2 different desk officers, all right? And there's 2 different definitions. Here's a brief overview. Will we record a complaint of a missing person is a definition. 17 and younger, a whole list of other things. Will we search if there's special category, 15 and under? Okay, let's say we've crossed that barrier, we're searching. Who does the search? Patrol supervisor, precinct of occurrence. Unless the child is 9 years old or younger, then it's the captain. Now, they tell the captain, do the steps of the sergeant and of the detective. Here's something to be very careful with. The sergeant is precinct of occurrence, the detective, precinct of residence, because that's where the complaint gets lodged. All right, again, 4-page lesson, 2 separate definitions. One thing I do want to say this. You get the definition right up front on page 1. The person meets a definition, go ahead and record it. Doesn't say search. Again, they're going to throw a search in on there, and it might be wrong. They meet the definition, we're going to record it. First thing, though, is the cop has got a page of steps to take before they even call the boss. How often do you see that? First thing the cop does, have a supervisor respond. Notify the desk officer, right? Not here. There's a page of steps you're going to take, and the last bullet on page 2 in today's lesson is notify the patrol supervisor, notify the desk officer. And then the desk officer will direct that the paperwork be made. And then, if they meet the second definition, we'll go and search. So it's kind of backwards. It's not the usual procedure. 2 different commands, 2 different definitions. Again, they will complicate it on a date exam. It's very straightforward in today's lesson. Study the lesson. Just study the lesson over and again. And then when they complicate it, you'll be able to pick out the correct answer. Okay, that's enough for now. I'll see you next week.